Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, we didn't have a chance before to ask you about Sindarius Thornwell. What did the team see in him, and what do they want to see out of him over these next 7 or so games?
Yeah, I think a very good competitor, tough guy. He's had some experience playing in the league. He can play multiple positions. So I think like a lot of the other guys we have, it's a good opportunity for him.
Go ahead, Dan.
Cliff, you were heavily involved in the Magic's Get Out and Vote campaign. They'll be doing another public service with the vaccination event. As somebody who went through COVID, just how important is that, and how big is that for the local area?
I think it's great. I mean, it's just listening and continue to try to educate yourself on herd immunity, what it can do for our country as more people get vaccinated, and the challenges that we have so that we can truly get back to normal, both with the vaccinations here in the country and then, how we're able to help other countries worldwide.
Alex Fleming, Florida Sun.
First and foremost, welcome back, Coach. I hope you're feeling well.
Feeling good, thank you.
Watching the aspect of the NBA, Chicago is sliding. I don't believe they played Vooch, and Levine has COVID, ironically. I think they're trying to fall into the first four so that way they don't have to give that conditional pick to the Magic. And speaking of the Magic, you have a tough matchup against Boston tonight. One, do you worry about ping pong balls at all during the regular season? And two, how do you plan on slowing down Tatum and Brown?
Yeah, well, Brown's out, which is good. He's not going to play. Tatum's obviously a handful, and again, we have limited practice time. So we did some things this morning that hopefully we can utilize tonight. In terms of the ping pong balls, I mean, I don't look at it at all. I think one of the things I think people realize when you look at the way the NBA is set up now, there's a difference between being, say, like in the bottom 3 or the bottom 4 or 5, but it's not all that significant, and you want to have as many chances as you can to get higher picks. But I think that the changes that the league has made are great, and listen, as you guys remember 15 years ago, there were some nights when it was, you could just watch and say, like, that's not fair. So I think this way, again, if you look at it and look at the percentages, they're not astronomical. So I think the rules have made it easier for everybody.
Rob Parks, 48minutes.com.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? First of all, welcome back. Speak about how proud you are of your team's performance since you were out. They had some big wins, especially this past weekend.
No, good. And I hope we can build on that. I think good. The number one thing that I talked to them about this morning is things change quickly in this league. And I used the example of Mo Wagner, who, think about, where he was at 10 days ago versus where he's at now, where he's coming off some good performances. And, he's helping himself because every night we play now, there's 30 teams watching, not just our team. So we have 7 games left, 6 against teams that will be playing in the playoffs. So we can hopefully have some fun with it and be spoilers. And it'll all start with having the right attitude. And hopefully, like I said, we can build on that.
John Carolus, Mass Live. John, you're on mute.
There we go. Sorry, my apologies. So speaking of Mo Wagner, what have you seen from him in the opportunity that he's getting? And obviously, Evan Fournier is coming back. Just your thoughts on Evan coming back for the first time.
Yeah, so with Mo, I mean, size, plays with very good energy, has a good feel for the game. And, he's, for us, he's played tonight. Wendell will be out, so he'll play more at the 5. But he's been able to play both the 4 and the 5, which is, the versatility part is always important. In terms of Evan, Listen, Evan is a great competitor. He's a great teammate. When you're a head coach, you want somebody who's a reliable competitor. That's where it all starts. And you never had to worry about his readiness to play, the way he prepared himself to get ready to play. And then obviously, he has an offensive component to his game that made him a very valuable player.
Keith Smith, Yahoo Sports. Keith, you're on mute.
There we go. Think I'd have this down by now. Coach, you've got as much experience with Kemba Walker as anybody. He went through some health issues earlier this year, but when you watch him now, does he look like he's back to the old Kemba to you?
I think much closer. I think that whenever you miss that much time, it's it's going to take a while. But he's such a hard worker, and I would think that he's trying to get himself ready. So by the time the playoffs start, like last year, he'll be a factor. And listen, there's no better competitor. Nobody wants to win anymore, and no better teammate than Kemba Walker.
Gary Washburn, Boston Globe.
Hey, Steve. When you're coaching a bunch of young guys, as you are, guys who are trying to prove themselves, is that process, not to say the season's been enjoyable, but is the process of teaching guys and taking them from step A to step B kind of enjoyable to see growth during games and stretch of games, to see young guys come up? I mean, obviously you want to coach for championships, but do you try to enjoy and make the best out of these situations?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think that, adjusting, being adaptable is a big part of this league anyway, as you know. The problem with the challenge with that right now is literally for every team, we're playing so many games. We haven't practiced. Well, listen, our last practice for our team was before I got COVID. So we've just been playing the games. And so in terms of, are we, making progress, playing better, not really, I mean, it's a tougher way to go right now. The level of execution for the teams that are newer isn't as high, obviously, as when you have your whole team from early in the year. We won't really, with the way we're playing, we haven't practiced since, like what I said, before I got the COVID. And we won't have a real practice the rest of the season. We just, we like tonight, we'll dress 9, they'll play big minutes, we'll come in, we'll watch film, and we'll walk through things. That's what we did this morning. But that part that you're talking about, I think would be fun. It's just such a different year because the schedule is so compact.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, how is Wendell, and with him out, along with a number of others, how will you start tonight?
Yeah, so hopefully Wendell will be ready by Friday. So we'll start. Mo will start at the 5. Mo Wagner at the 4, Dwayne at the 3, Gary at the 2, and Cole at the 1. And Iggy will have to play a ton at the 4 tonight. Mo Wagner will play at both the 4 and the 5. And Sindarius just got here, but he's going to get a chance to play also. So we'll dress 9 and everybody will play.
Any final questions? Thank you, everyone.